accuracy of your prophetic utterance is more important than your prophetic accuracy. One major thing every prophet must know is the difference between the things that the Lord will tell you or reveal to you for your knowing, and the things that the Lord will reveal to you to communicate. You need to know the difference, because not everything you see you must say. Not everything you hear you must communicate. There are so many things the Lord will tell you just for you to know. That's all. There are so many things the Lord will show you, the Lord will tell you just for your knowing. You are not supposed to communicate it. You are not supposed to openly prophesy it. You are not supposed to tell anybody about it. It is just for your knowing. In 2 Corinthians chapter 14 and the verse 32, we understand that the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. In other words, you, the prophet, must be in charge of your prophetic utterance and communication. And you see, one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my early years as a prophet is that anytime the Lord tells me something, I see something, I am in a hurry to communicate it. And you see, if you don't understand prophetic utterance, you can be given a very accurate prophetic word, yet nobody will believe it. And even if it happened, people will still doubt you. Why? Because you didn't communicate it accurately. Listen to me. One major thing I want you to understand this evening is that the accuracy of your prophetic utterance is more important than your prophetic accuracy. Listen to me. Listen to me. One major thing I want you to understand this evening is that the accuracy of your prophetic utterance, the prophetic communication, the way you communicate your prophetic revelation is more important than the accuracy and the details of your communication. I know that will sound a little bit confusing, but it will make sense very soon. I want you to listen again. The accuracy of your prophetic utterance, the how, the know-how, how you speak, how you communicate the prophetic word is more important than the accuracy. It's more important than the accuracy. Let me give you a perfect example. You know, many years ago, I was very young, and I have this spiritual father, a mentor, that every Friday I go to his church, which is an all night, and he will finish preaching, and when he finished preaching, he will give me the microphone to prophesy, cast out demons from people, to deliver people. So every Friday night, I will go to his church, and as soon as he finished preaching, around 11 o'clock thereabout, he'll come and say, "Prophet Grant, come and take the microphone and do whatever the Lord will tell you to do." Then I will prophesy to many people, hundreds of people, cast out demons from people, pray for the sick, and there will be so many miracles. And you see, every Friday night, the church will be packed. People were just waiting for my father to hand over the microphone for me. And you see, I was very accurate with my prophetic ministration, but my prophetic utterance is not seasoned. I wasn't seasoned with my prophetic utterance. There are so many things I prophesy that I shouldn't prophesy. There were so many things I tell people that I shouldn't tell people. And sometimes when I go back to some of my old videos, I feel so bad for myself, because I can spend more than 10 minutes prophesying to one person. Mention name of children, date of birth, where they were born, like unnecessary things that I shouldn't say. But the fact that I was seeing it, to me, I have to say it. And sometimes most of you young prophets make that kind of mistake. I will spend more than 10 minutes prophesying to one person. The food the person ate before coming to the service, the color of dress the person was wearing yesterday, like unnecessary things. Why? Because as I am seeing it, I want to communicate it. Listen to me. The accuracy of your utterance is more important than all the details information you can be mentioning and talking about. Because listen to me, sometimes mentioning date of birth and certain things are unnecessary. Yeah, talking about certain things that are very accurate and on point can be unnecessary. So there was this gentleman that I picked from the crowd, and I began to prophesy to him. And I said, I see a business, like a construction business, and you have a store and you are selling this and that and that. And I said, I see you in a construction, and you also own a store that you sell, construction items like cement, iron rod, and blah, 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 blah. And the guy, confirmed that everything I'm saying is true. And I said, all of a sudden, things are not going well financially for you. And he said, yes, man of God. Yes, prophet, prophesy. There's a difference between prophesying in Africa and prophesying outside Africa. Because outside Africa, people don't give you the inspiration to prophesy. You are prophesying to people and they're looking at you. Whether it is true or not, they're just looking at you. But if you are prophesying in Africa, yes, man of God, prophesy, Papa. Yes, Lord. Yes, man of God. Yes, man. The zeal. Anyway, I always miss it. I always miss it. Now, this guy was responding to everything I was talking about. And I said, everything is going down. You are even contemplating to close down the store. And he said, yes, it's true. And I said, do you know your downfall? And he said, tell me, prophet. And I said, there is this lady you are working with, like a secretary or personal assistant. And I told him that the first day you started going out with her, that was the beginning of your downfall. Now, whilst I was prophesying to him, there was a lady who also was in the crowd giving me morale. She was screaming and saying, prophesy, prophesy, man of God, prophesy, man of God. And I was prophesying to the gentleman. And I said, from the day you started having an affair with this lady you have employed as your personal assistant and secretary, that was the day your business started going down. And he started crying. And I go into details and details and details and details. And it was at the middle of the prophecy, my spiritual father came and took the microphone from me and called sick people and started praying for them. And I was like, what is happening here? It was then I understood that the lady that was giving me morale, saying, prophesy, prophet, is the wife of the gentleman. And I didn't know. And I said what I am not supposed to say. I say everything I am not supposed to say. So the moment I broke the news, what made my spiritual father to come and take the microphone was because the wife came from the back to the front to me and said, yes, God has exposed you today. You have been cheating on me. I told you that you and her, you have something doing. You lied to me. You lied to me. You see you now. You see you now. You see how God has vindicated me. I am done with this marriage. And I was like, I never knew that gentleman is married. Listen to me very carefully. I will never forget this mistake. I never knew that the gentleman was married. And I was prophesying things I shouldn't prophesy because I was young. I was only focusing on accuracy, not knowing that there are things you should not say. There are things you see you must not say. Are you here? Even if you have to say it, I'll be teaching you some of this strategy. Sometimes tell the person to see you after the service or after the conference or after the meeting. Tell the person one-on-one. There are things you don't communicate in public. There are things you don't say it in the microphone. I caused a lot of trouble. And the whole church was like, what is happening here? And some women were supporting the wife because of the things the wife was saying. Say, you see, God has exposed you today. I asked you so many times whether you are doing something with your secretary. You lied to me. You say never. You even swear heaven and earth. You see your life now. You see your life now. So the first lady came and took the lady into her office, and my spiritual father took over the microphone, praying for the sick, and already the commotion in the church, the confusion, like hey. And I went and sit down I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. And after the service, my father called me in the office. He blasted me. He gave it to me. And I didn't know where the tears were coming from. I was crying like a baby. Ma. The following day, I went to him and I said, Daddy, I understood I messed up. But the problem is that you are the senior prophet. You didn't train me. You didn't teach me. You didn't tell me not to say certain things. You see now? And I cried out to him. And that was when he started teaching me about prophetic utterances and prophetic strategies, how to communicate certain things. Listen to me very carefully. That was when he started teaching me how to communicate the prophetic utterance. Okay, there are things when you say it, it can break nations. There are things the Lord can show you about nations, about family, about people. When you speak it, you break nations. Somebody will go and kill somebody because of your prophecy. Somebody will go and destroy somebody. Somebody will go and spark fire just because of your prophetic utterance. So one major thing you need to master as a prophet is your utterance. It is your utterance. Many years ago, I was in a certain country. And you know, I'm not supposed to give this example, but I am giving you this example because the man is no more alive. The man is dead. So I can share a little bit. I was in a certain country, and a husband and a wife, they came and see me with one of their child. I don't know whether a girl or a boy or so. They came and see me. They have only one child. And they have been married for so many years, I think more than 10 years. And they had only one child. That was very young. They married, I think, 27 years old. Yeah, they married about 17 years or so. I can't remember. I am not good at remembering dates. Yeah, I'm not good at remembering dates. They've married for a long time. And after waiting to have children for a very long time, they only had one child. So they came to see me for prayer, and the man said that, you know, he has a low sperm count, and he has been to different doctors, different treatment and everything, and it seems like he can no longer impregnate the wife. So he believed in divine intervention, and he believed that if I pray for him, things can turn around for them to have another child. And I said, okay. So when I look at the wife, I saw this tall, giant, thick man standing behind the wife. And I heard a name. Then I mentioned the name. And I said, do you know a man by the name this? And the wife said, yes, that is the name of our driver. The man said, that is the name of our driver. Then immediately I knew that if I should continue this prophecy, hey, there will be war. Because the moment she said driver, God didn't tell me anything, but I knew that if I should continue the prophecy about the driver, I will say something that is going to break the family, that is going to break the marriage. So I need to put in place a strategy to switch. And you see, one of the most difficult things for every prophet is switching from one stream of revelation into another. Listen to me. One of the most difficult things that every prophet faces is how to switch from one stream of revelation to another. That is where you need to learn a lot of prophetic strategies that will help you to switch. And I told you in the previous session that one of the biggest strategies I use to switch is to sing or to raise a song. Yeah, sometimes you call somebody, you are prophesying to somebody, and at the middle of the prophecy, You knew that if you are to continue this prophecy, you are going to say certain things that you shouldn't say, or that the audience shouldn't hear. You need to learn how to cut yourself immediately, how to switch immediately. And if you don't know how to switch immediately, you'll be holding the microphone and be looking at the person, and everybody will be waiting to hear what next, what next, what next. And at the end of the day, you are going to lose yourself from that stream of revelation you find yourself. So putting in place strategies help you to switch from one stream of revelation into another. And most of the time, the strategy I use is to raise a song. Fire, 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 fire fall on me. Most of the time I'll sing that song, or I have different kind of songs I will sing. And the moment I raise the song and the congregation is singing the song, it will help me to switch from that stream of revelation into another, that stream of prophecy into another stream of prophecy. And you see, sometimes I can be prophesying to somebody, and in the midst of the prophecy, I started singing a song, and the next thing I will tell the person is, I want to see you after service. Why? Because I knew that continuing prophesying to that person, I will alter certain things that I shouldn't say from the place of revelation. Are you getting it? And number two, there are prophets who will tell the person, there are things I want to tell you personally, so wait and I'll see you after service. That is also a good strategy. Yeah, that is also a good strategy. Number three, I raise a prayer point. Sometimes I can be prophesying to somebody, and when I get to that place, and I knew that if I continue with this revelation I am tracing or I am seeing, I am going to alter or communicate some things that shouldn't be communicated in public, I have to quickly come with a prayer point. Everybody lift up your hands. I want us to pray this prayer. So the moment I raise the prayer point and everybody is praying and praying and praying, I will switch from that stream into another stream. Very, very important. Yeah, very, very important. So I knew that if I should continue prophesying to these couples, I would say things that will break the marriage. And it was later I understood that their only charge is not for the man, but it's for their driver. The only charge they had is not for the man, it's for the driver. So I have to put in place a strategy to switch from mentioning the name of the driver into another stream. And I said, let's hold hands right now. Let's hold hands. And we held hands. And I don't want to tell you that what I told them to switch. So from there, I prayed for them, and I told them that I want to see them again. But the woman was very wise enough. She knew that I knew something. So the next day, she called me and said, Prophet, I want to come and see you personally. And I said, no problem. And she came and she broke down in tears before me and said, Prophet, thank you for saving my marriage. And I said, what did I do? And she said, I knew that the Lord told you something yesterday when me and my husband came to you. And I said, what do you mean? Then she broke the news. Yeah, she broke the news. And she was like, Prophet, promise me you're not going to tell my husband. I said, this one is between you and God. If you decided to tell your husband, that is your problem. But me, I will not go behind your sin and talk to your husband. I'm never going to do that. Yes, that is why even if you're a prophet, you have to respect the code of secrecy. As a prophet, you need to respect the code of secrecy. There are things people will tell you, you don't say it. You don't betray them. There are things people will tell you about their spouse, about their friend, about their boss, about their so many things, even about their children. You don't break the code of secrecy. You have to respect the code of secrecy. Somebody told you, or the Lord told you, or you find out that somebody has issue of infidelity, cheating on their spouse, or even have a child outside their marriage. You are going to hear a lot of these stories. You are going to know a lot of these things, but you don't have the power to break the code of secrecy. When people believe in you, that you are a prophet, you are a man of God, and they open up with you and they share their secret with you, you need to keep it. So, prophetic utterance is very important. Okay, prophetic utterance is very important. How you say what you see is very important. How you say what you see, how you say what you hear is very, very important. That is what makes you a prophet. Yeah, that is what makes you a prophet. Some of you have been seeing right, you have been hearing right, but your communications are not seasoned. The way you communicate what you see is not seasoned. Now, I want to show you a very practical, professional way of communicating prophetic word to people. A very practical example. And this is about Prophet Nathan and David. This is about Prophet Nathan and David. Listen to me. Anytime I am talking about prophetic utterance, one major example I always give my student is 2 Samuel chapter 12. When Prophet Nathan went and prophesied to David. You see, there are certain people I met that I prophesied to them and they disregard my prophecy. Not because what I was telling them is not true, but the mistake I made was that the utterances and the way I was communicating the prophetic word to them was not seasoned. I wasn't using a language that can be well understood by them. Listen to me. You see, when Jesus met the fishermen, Peter and co, he used the word, I will make you a fisher of men. He didn't say, I will make you a disciple. No. He didn't say, I will make you a soul winner. He uses an utterance that they can easily relate with. These are people who are known when it comes to fishing. Fishing is what their source of income. They are professional fishermen. So Jesus used an utterance. He uses a word, a terminology that can really relate to them. I remember a friend of mine from Nigeria was prophesying in Belgium. And after he finished the service, I was watching on Facebook and I called him. I said, sir, is something wrong with you? You are in Belgium and you are prophesying that I saw myself in a place like Bola. You are prophesying in Belgium, white people church. You are in Belgium prophesying to white people, a white woman, and you are saying you saw yourself in a place like a Bola. Like, how will a white lady relate to Bola? Those of us outside Africa, when was the last time you see a Bola? When was the last time you saw a Bola? So how will somebody understand Bola? Then you prophesy, and I saw a place like Bola. Then under the Bola, then I saw people garbage, and I was, you know, the prophetic utterance, the language, the terminology, the way you are communicating your prophetic word will never be understood. And even at the end of the day, they'll say, what the hell is he talking about? What the hell is that? Prophet, what the hell are you talking about? It doesn't matter whether you are truly seeing or not, but the way you are communicating your prophetic revelation cannot be well understood. And at the end of the day, you will be taken for a joke. Yeah, then I saw a black pot. How many people even know pot? How many people? How many people know a pot? How many people have seen a pot before, apart from maybe online? How many people see a pot, a black pot, with a red thread or a red material at the neck? Prophet, you know, use a prophetic language that can be well understood. So this is Prophet Nathan, that God shown him that, Prophet Nathan, David, my servant, did something very abominable. And by that story, we all knew that, you know, David was very lustful, and he saw the nakedness of Uriah's wife, Bathsheba. And he ended up sending some of his soldiers to go and bring her. And by that time, Uriah was at the war. And David called the wife Bathsheba, slept with her, even to the place of impregnating her. And you need to understand that David is a king. David is a no-nonsense king. So for you to go and prophesy to somebody like David, you have to prepare. And number two, you have to choose your utterances very carefully. You cannot go to a king and prophesy to a king anyhow. You'll be in trouble. No matter how accurate your prophecy is, you cannot prophesy to a king anyhow. You'll be in trouble. Yeah, that is why, especially in Africa, many prophets are arrested for prophesying about president or prominent people. Even me, I've been arrested before. Yeah, I've been arrested before for prophesying to a rich man's daughter. And the father came after me, the police came for me. Somebody say, huh? Yes, I've been arrested before. Yeah, I prophesied to one rich man's daughter. Yeah, about something that is about to happen to her. It's a long, long story, and I'll tell you another time. Wow, you know, we have about 21 minutes to go, and I have a lot to share with you. But let me just share this with you. So I can't remember, I think 2014 thereabout, and I was coming from a bank, or I was coming from somewhere. Then I saw a lady friend of mine with her best friend. So I told, they were planning to write something like 𝗏𝗏 in Africa. 𝗏𝗏 is for those who fail in secondary school and you want to go to university. There is an examination you can write. If you pass, then you can go to university. So she was about to write 𝗏𝗏. And when I look at her, then I prophesied to her that, hey, I see that you are planning to go and write 𝗏𝗏, but there's an issue I am seeing ahead. And you have to be very careful about certain decisions you make and certain things you do. Because I am seeing in the realm of the spirit that your friend has gone to write the exam, but you didn't go to write the exam. I am seeing you in a police cell, like you are in a jail. Yeah, I am seeing that your friend has gone to write the exam, but you are in a place like a cell or jail. So pray about this prophecy and be very careful the things you do and the places you go. And she said, okay. Now she went home and crying to her parent that a prophet prophesied to her that she's going to jail. Now let's be very honest. This is somebody from a very rich family, but you know, she's not that very intelligent. She's from a very rich family, and the parent want her to go to university by all means, and she has failed so many times. And now she's writing 𝗏𝗏 about the third time so she can qualify to go to university. Yeah, and they sent her to the best 𝗏𝗏 school in Ghana. I forgot the name. And few days for her to go and write exam, a prophet has prophesied to her that he saw her in jail. You know, just imagine the heaviness of that prophecy. So she went home crying, telling the mother that she doesn't even want to learn anymore because of what the prophet said. And the father was like, who is that prophet who said God told him or God showed him that you, my daughter, you are going to jail? I want to see that prophet and deal with that prophet. So I was home one day and I heard a knocking at my door. And this is the police, and they say, hey, come and enter the car. You have some question to answer at the police station. And I was trying to play like a big boy. They pushed my they pushed the back of my head, say, enter the pickup. Oh, I didn't even dress well. So they forced me into the pickup, and I was like, officer, what happened? Oh, they said, when we get to the station, you will know what happened. So I got to the station and I spoke to the station manager. And he said, "Are you Vincent Grant?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm the one." And he said, "Are you a prophet?" And I said, "Of course, a proud prophet." And he said, "Do you know a lady by a name this and that and that?" And I don't even know the lady's name. And I said, "No." And I said, "Have you prophesied to somebody that the person will go to jail?" And I was like, "No." Said, "There was this lady that said you prophesied to her that during exam she will be in jail and she will not write the exam and blah, 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 blah." And I said, "Oh, I remember. But that is not how I prophesy it." And the station manager or master said that, "Did you talk about jail?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You will be the one to go to the jail." So I was there, and the station manager called the father of the lady, and the father was like screaming on the phone, said, how dare you lie to my daughter? And my daughter, do you know how much money I spent on my daughter to go to school and to pass that exam and go to university, and you are just there, stomach prophet, hungry prophet, and say you see something that my daughter will go to jail? Do you know who I am? I am coming to the station now and lick your ass." And the man was angry, vibrating on the phone. And the station manager or master said that, "Honorable, big man, you don't need to come to the station. I will deal with him." Say, "Deal with him. Deal with him. Deal with him. Whatever it will cost me for you to deal with him, deal with him for me. Lock him up for me." And I was like, oh. And you see, there are situations you find yourself that if you are not careful, you will even forget that God has called you. And at that moment, I just saw myself like a mosquito carried by the wind. I just feel so small, so little, so small. And those days I fast a lot. Those days I fast a lot. And my visions and revelations were very, 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 right? Even if I close my eyes, I am seeing those moments. And the man said, "Go and sit down in the corner there." And some women who are also in the police, some police officers were there, and they were insulting me. They said, when did God call you? Did he, how did God call you? Are you sure God called you or you called God? Are you sure God called you or you put the title on yourself? How do you become a prophet? Who made you a prophet? They were throwing questions on me and throwing questions on me, insulting me and cursing me. Say, all these young people who are very lazy, instead of you to go and get a job and be working, you want to go around lying to people that you are a prophet, collecting people's money, saying things God didn't tell you to say. Young people, instead of you to go and look for a job and be working, your mates are working, and you are here saying God has called you, very lazy. Oof. I heard all the insult I've never heard in my life that day. They threw it on me. So in the midst of the insult, I saw another vision again. So I told the station manager, and I said, "Sir, can you tell everybody to excuse us? I want to talk to you." And they said, "Share. What Jimmy and what she be?" They said, like, you want to prophesy again? You want to lie again? Or what did you see? Why should we leave? Why should we accuse you? Well, one of the lady, I didn't know. I don't know what I did to her. Like, she was like, "I'll come and slap the hell out of it." Like, I was like, "Sir, can you tell everybody to excuse us? I want to tell you something. I want to share something with you." And this old man looked at me like that, said, "You want to tell me something and you want everybody to leave?" And I said, "Yes, please." Then after a few minutes, he was like, "Everybody excuse us. Let me hear what he wants to say." And I said, he's going to lie to you again, or he's going to lie, he's going to prophesy to you. And so everybody, just allow him, just give me a minute. So after everybody left, they closed the door. And I was like, "Sir, whilst I am seated here, I saw myself in a realm of light. And I saw myself at a certain school. And I described the uniform that the students wear. And I said, I saw a young lady who is like your daughter." And I mentioned the name. And she was like, "Yes, that's my daughter." And I said, there is a spiritual attack. She has been going through like epilepsy. Then the man removed his glass and dropped it on the table like that and pulled his chair close to me. And I said, yes. What is it about her? And I said, as I'm speaking to you right now, she's under a very serious attack. And the school has called your wife to come and pick her to the hospital. And as I'm talking right now, your wife is about to call you now. The moment I say now, his phone on the table started ringing. The moment I said your wife is about to call you now, the moment I said now, his phone on the table started ringing. And the wife called him. Then his hand was like, say, what should I do? What should I do? And I said, right now, the Lord is telling me to tell you that what your daughter is going through is a spiritual attack. It is not epilepsy or whatever the doctors has been saying. Just take me home. When I get home, I will pray and your daughter will be okay. And that story about her will never repeat again. And he was like, no, I want to let some of my boys to take you to my house, and my wife will bring her to the house for you to pray for her. And I said, I don't need to go to your house and pray for her. Just make sure I live here and I get home. Listen to me. Sometime when prophecy puts you in trouble, prophecy will bring you out. Sometime when your gift puts you in trouble, it is the same gift that will bring you out. Hello? Sometimes when your gift, when your anointing, when prophecy put you in trouble, it will take the same gift to bring you out. And the man was very confused. He said, I want you to go to my house and pray for my daughter. And I said, no, just make sure I am out of this place and your daughter will be fine. And I said, sir, in case you don't know, I am not here because of the prophecy I gave that lady. I am here because of your daughter. And he was like, I said, forget about what bring me here. I am here for your daughter's deliverance. So just make sure the people take me back home. Then after a few minutes, he was like, are you sure of what you are saying? Then he started talking. I said, sir, just make sure I am out of this place and your daughter will be fine forever. So all of a sudden, he said, come, let me drive you myself. Yeah. He said, I'm driving you to the school. Then we go to the house for you to pray for my daughter. Then I'll go and drop you home. And I said, no, you don't need to take me to the school. You don't need to take me to your house. Just take me to my house. When I get home, I will do the rest. And the man went and dropped me home. And that was the end. So it was later the same police officer who was the station manager or station officer called me. Yeah, he called me and said, Prophet of God, can you imagine what happened? And I said, what happened? Tell me. And he said that the lady I prophesied to that I saw her in jail has been has been arrested, and now he's at the police custody. And I said, what happened? And he said that the mother's money has been missing. The mother said anytime she puts some big money down, some of the money will be missing. Part of the money will be missing. And she used to believe that it's a spirit or a demon that has been stealing some of the money. And this time around, she put some big money down and all the money got missing. And the part of Africa I came from, if your money is missing or your property is missing or somebody stole anything from you, even if somebody stole your chicken or something small from you, even your shoe, you don't report it to the police. You go and do your spiritual things to trouble the person who stole it and the whole family of the person, and demand them to pay times 10 or times 20 of whatsoever you want to demand from them as the penalty or as the interest over whatever they stole. The part of Africa I came from, if somebody take anything that belonged to you, maybe your watch or your chicken, sometimes something small, or even coconut. If somebody go and steal your coconut from your coconut tree, you don't report to police. People will make an announcement. They will make a public announcement to make an awareness that whoever climbed the coconut tree and steal the coconut should come out. And they'll give a date. If the person didn't show up, that he or she is the one who stole the coconut, the person will do his or her spiritual things to trouble the person who stole the coconut, including the family of the person who stole the coconut. And there will be so many trouble, sometimes madness, sometimes people will be dying just like that until the person own up. And the family pay whatever the owner of the coconut tree demand for fire to cease. Yeah. So this time around, the woman lost big money. And she was like, this one, I believe it is not a spirit. And she said she's going to deal with it. And she started telling all the neighbors and making an awareness. And not knowing the daughter is the one who stole the money, gave it to her boyfriend to buy a taxi. Yeah. And she and the boyfriend were enjoying the money. So the boyfriend family suspect that something like that happened. And they talked to their son, and their son opened up. And that was when the boyfriend family came to the girlfriend family that, hey, your daughter is the one who stole the money and gave it to our son, and they bought a taxi, and the taxi is working for them. The mother was very mad and very angry and quickly called the police to come and arrest her. So at the end of the day, the prophecy came to pass that she couldn't write the exam anymore. Whilst the people were writing the exam, she was in the police custody, according to the prophecy. Remember, I prophesied to her that I saw that people were writing the exam and she was in jail. So it came to pass that when the people were writing the exam, she was at the police custody. She was locked up. Yeah, she was locked up. So this is how the whole story unfolded. The family of the boyfriend heard that the mother's money is missing, huge amount of money. And the mother says she's going to work things out spiritually to get whoever stole the money. So the family suspect that something is wrong, looking at the way their son is now bought a car, buying this, changing things in his room, and their son and the girlfriend traveling, going all over the places. They suspect that something is wrong. So they call their son and say, hey, something is happening. Did this woman's daughter give you some big money? And the son admitted. When the mother heard it, yeah, he called the police. Yeah. And even when she knew that the mother knew about it, she ran away. So the mother called the police to look for her and deal with her. Yeah. So I think after the police locked her up for few weeks or months. Yeah. And later the mother told her that she doesn't want to see her in the house again. So she left the city of Accra and went to stay with the grandmother in the Volta region. Yeah. She left the city of Accra and went to stay with the grandmother in the Volta region. And at the end of the day, that was the end of the relationship. Yeah. She almost committed suicide because the guy broke up with her. Because of that incident, the family wanted the guy to stay away from her. And when she left the city of Accra, went to the grandmother, she was expecting the boyfriend would follow up. And the boyfriend just blocked and cut himself off from her. So that was how the whole story unfolded. So even though the police came for me, everything happened as I prophesied. As I prophesied. But the truth of the matter is that if I were to be prophesying to that lady today, I would have prophesied it differently. Yeah. If I were to be prophesying to that lady today, I would have prophesied it differently, knowing that she is about to write exam. I wouldn't have prophesied everything straightforward like that. Yeah, I would have discerned to see what is ahead and communicate it to her in a way she will understand, without even talking about police or going to jail. I would have taken my time to see ahead and advise her about stealing the mother's money. Yeah, that I would have done better. But you know, I was very young and I just say it the way I see it. Yeah, and this is the mistake many of you coming in the prophetic make. Don't say it the way you see it. Take your time, meditate on it, apply wisdom to communicate. And you see, if you don't master your prophetic utterance, you will cause confusion in homes, confusion in families, confusion in marriages, confusion in relationship, just because of your prophecy. Your prophecies are going to cause a lot of controversies, confusions, misunderstanding. You will make people fight one another. People are going to do crazy things out of your prophecy. So you have to master prophetic utterance, wisdom in communicating your prophetic revelations. So I want us to continue reading. So this is Prophet Nathan, who went to David and said, David, there is something bothering me and I want to tell you for you to advise me. There are two neighbors in this country. One of them is very rich and one of them is very poor. Now, the rich man has so many sheep, so many cattle, thousands of them. And the poor man has only one sheep. Now, this rich man has a visitor. And when this rich man has a visitor, he went and took the only sheep the poor man have and killed it to organize a feast for his visitor. David, what must we do to this rich man? And immediately David said, like, who is that wicked rich man? That man deserves to be dealt with. How can you have how can you have so many cattle? How can you be rich and have so many cattle, and your neighbor who is poor has only one sheep, and you go and take that one that belongs to him? That is a wicked person. That person doesn't deserve to live. And Prophet Nathan said, David, you are the one I am talking about. You have all these women. You have all these wives. You have all these concubines. But you went for the only wife Uriah have. And listen to me. You know, let's read it. I just paraphrase it for you. Let's read it. Sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city. The one is rich and the other one is poor. The rich man had exceedingly many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing except one little lamb, which he had brought and nourished up. Are you following? Let's go. And it grew up together with him and with his children, and it did eat of his own meat and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. Are you listening to wisdom communicated? Okay, this is wisdom speaking. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take one of his own flocks, of his own herds, to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him. He decided not to take one of his flocks, but he went and took the only one belonging to the poor man to prepare pepper soup for his visitor. The verse 5. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, that man that has done this thing must surely die. That was David speaking of. He said, as sure as the Lord liveth, the man who did this abominable thing must die. He didn't know that Nathan was prophesying about him. He didn't know that Nathan was prophesying about his own wickedness. The verse 6. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold. This is David. He shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing and because he had no pity. He had no pity. And Nathan said unto David, you are the man. You are that man I'm talking about. You are that wicked man I am talking about. You are that man who had no pity. You are that man I'm talking about. That you have all these concubines, yet you only go for the only wife Uriah have, to the extent of killing him, and to claim the wife as your own, to even have children with her. That wicked man that must surely die according to your words is yourself. No, now listen to me. When you sit down and you analyze this prophetic utterance, you will see nothing but higher level of wisdom communicated prophetically. Are you here? So prophetic utterance is everything. How you communicate your prophetic word matters a lot. It is everything. The word you choose to use, the way you communicate is very important. It makes everything. Sometimes some of you complain, prophet, sometimes I prophesy and people don't take me serious. Sometimes it is because of the way you prophesy it. Sometimes it is because of the way you say the things you say. I'm telling you. Sometimes it is because. So listen to me. There are times when you are going to prophesy to people, when you are going to prophetic meetings, pray and ask God to give you wisdom to communicate prophetically to people in a way they will understand. I'm telling you, you need to pray. I'm not supposed to say you need to. Even me, sometimes I still miss it. Yeah, there are times I watch my own videos and I be like, hey, this video we cannot post it on social media because the level of maturity is not the level I want it to be. Yeah, sometimes I still miss it a little bit. So we need to pray for a higher level of wisdom and maturity in communicating prophetic word. We need to. A higher level of wisdom, maturity. And you see, if you focus only on accuracy, you are going to make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, that is why I tell people that I am no longer at the place where I focus so much on accuracy. No. I used to focus so much on accuracy. I want to be very accurate. I want everything I am saying to be accurate. That was my main focus. But right now, wisdom and maturity matters to me more than accuracy. Yeah, I believe in accuracy. And I am still accurate when it comes to my prophetic word. But I can tell you, I choose maturity and wisdom more than just accuracy. Because you can accurately prophesy doom. How will I explain this? You can accurately prophesy doom. You can be given an accurate prophecy, but it will destroy. It will be like a bomb. You can accurately, even the word is not coming. You can prophesy accurately, but it is bomb. So we need to pray for wisdom and maturity to communicate with a higher level of prophetic maturity when it comes to our utterance. Okay, now I want to take your questions. When we enter into January, I will do another video to answer all the questions I have received that I didn't answer on Zoom. I will answer all the controversial questions some of you have been asking. Okay, so I want you to send me your questions. Okay, from day 1 to today, day 14. Day 1 to day 14, I want you to send me all your questions, and I am here to answer. I have 17 minutes. Yes, so this 17 minutes I will dedicate it to questions and answer. I have 17 minutes 47 seconds. So I want to take all your questions, and I'm going to answer. And you see, those of you who have registered for the Global Online Prophetic School 2025, which we are supposed to start the first Sunday in January to the last Sunday in January, we have a very big challenge. You know, I wasn't expecting over 1,000 people to register. Normally, most of our prophetic class, we have, 100 people, 80 people, 150 people, 170 people. But this time around, within 2 months, we have over 1,000 people registering from over 80 countries. More than, up to now, even people are still registering. Over 1,000 people from over 80 countries. Over 1,000 people from over 80 countries. So myself and my teams are planning to divide the student into different time zones. Okay, we have pastors from Botswana, and the time difference is about 8 hours or 10 hours. Pastors from Botswana, UK, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, different African countries, Anguilla, the Caribbean, different Puerto Rico, Suriname, pastors all over the world, over 80 countries. Pastors from over 80 countries. And I was checking this morning, we have over 1,000 people who registered for the prophetic mentorship on Zoom. So we are working so hard to divide the student into different time zones. So we are going to have a session for only the people in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, we are going to add US. We are going to add US and the Canada to the Caribbean, because the time zone is just an hour or an hour and a half. Okay, yes. And we are going to have a session for the people in Africa. Yeah, the people in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, the Western Africa, the Southern Africa, So we are going to work with a different time zone. We are going to add people from UK to different time zone. So by the end of the first week of January, I'm going to communicate to you to know which time zone you will be part of. Okay, I'll communicate with you to know which time zone you will be part of. I don't want to keep some people waiting, because if we are to do it 10 o'clock US time, as I announced earlier on, it means some people have to be up around 2 o'clock a.m. Some people have to be up 3 a.m. Some people have to be up 5 a.m. 5 a.m. 5 o'clock. So I want to have at least 5 group. Yeah, I want to have about 4 to 5 group, different time zone. So my team is still working to scout out the different time zone, so we can put each student to a suitable time zone. So it's going to make the class very easy for me and easy for all of us, because I want everybody to attend this class. I want everybody who register to attend this class in a very convenient way. I don't want to keep you waiting. I don't want you to have a sleepless night. I don't want to be teaching on Zoom and you are doing because you'll be feeling sleepy. Imagine being up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 a.m. That would be too much of a sacrifice. So that is the news from there. God bless you so much. I'm still waiting for your questions. So let me go ahead and answering some of the questions I've received from here. Let me go ahead and start asking answering some of the questions I received.